Alright, so it looks like Goldberg is back on our screens once again, which I'm sure is not going to go down too well with the fan base of WWE. Like, it never does anymore. And it's kind of sad because when Goldberg did return back in like 2017 for the first time, it was insane and people loved it. But then he just sort of kept coming back way too often. And then of course he beat The Fiend for the Universal Championship, and that was just a tipping point. And everyone started to hate Goldberg after that. And since then he's had a rivalry with Drew McIntyre. And then he was going to have a match with Roman Reigns, but something happened, didn't it? That was meant to be a WrestleMania match as well. Oh, I think Roman was out with COVID or something like that. Because then Braun Strowman went against Goldberg and Braun Strowman actually won as well. So yeah, that was different. And that was nearly 2 years ago now, so they're probably like, alright, it's been enough time. It's time to finally get this rivalry on the go. Roman Reigns versus Goldberg, which isn't too exciting for me because, well, it's Goldberg and I don't want him to win. And then also, I want to see Roman Reigns lose. So it's not really a good matchup in my eyes, but we will see how his return took place, what exactly happened. It says here that Goldberg emerges to challenge Roman Reigns, and this just happened the other night on SmackDown. By the way, it is late at night, so that's why I'm talking a bit quieter. You know, people are in bed asleep. This might be a recurrent thing, me recording at night, and I don't like that because recording in the day, when I have total freedom just to be loud and proud, is much better, but sometimes I just need to record at night because there's no other choice. Wait, is it just me that gets the urges to do these things? Because I've been noticing when I've been watching back my videos and editing them, I do just I don't know, I just sort of implode and just release some inner energy that just here we go. Oh, my head. Paul Heyman betrayed Brock Lesnar once again. You fat walrus. Look at him, he's such a simp for Roman Reigns. Oh, wait. Can we just take a second to appreciate this camera angle right now? Roman Reigns in the middle with the blue Universal Championship, and then the Usos in the background with their blue SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Just, I mean, the Bloodline is running the game on SmackDown. And you know, at first I didn't really like the blue Universal title. I much prefer the red, but it's really grown on me now. And it does look pretty beautiful, I must say. And then we got Paul Heyman just on his knees there for Roman. Bit sus, but you know, he has obviously changed sides once again. Betrayed Brock Lesnar at the Rumble, which is just mad because they've been together for what, like 20 odd years. Obviously he made an alliance with Roman anyway beforehand, but when Brock came back I was like, alright, that's going to be him and Paul Heyman back together again, you know, like of course it is. But no, he betrays Brock Lesnar and here he is. Here he is
from Brock Lesnar.
Look at that championship. Oh my god,
Brock
what do you think's worth?
From Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Oh, look at him he's staring right into my soul.
Roman Reigns came to me.
He's trying to laugh. He actually was. He was smart.
And he offered me the hand of forgiveness.
The hand of forgiveness.
So
emotional.
He offered me the hand of love.
Of love.
He offered me the hand of family.
Family.
He offered me the hand of the bloodline. Roman Reigns offered me the hand of acknowledgement. And I handed Roman Reigns that.
Wait, can we just as well take a second to think about how, like, back in 2018, when their rivalry first started, although they had something in 2015, I think, but like properly one-on-one, I think it was WrestleMania 34 in 2018. Like, who would have thought that a few years later, Roman would be partnered up with Paul Heyman? It's just mad. Who would have thought he would have been the Universal Champion for like 600 odd days? Has he hit 600 yet? Either that or 500 and something, which is still crazy enough. And who would have thought that the Universal Championship would now be blue? Times change. I mean, with WWE, like, things change all the time. People come, people go, people poo, people pope. Pope?
WWE Championship. And he smashed Brock Lesnar in the face with it. And because of Roman Reigns,
that's
Bobby
so nice.
Lashley
the shine as well.
Brock Lesnar, and Bobby Lashley is your new WWE Heavyweight
The
Champion.
Almighty. One fair and square. I like Lashley as champion though. Even if it was a pretty BS win.
You now all have to acknowledge that there will be no title versus title, champion versus champion, winner take all at WrestleMania, because Brock Lesnar does not get what Brock Lesnar wants. Brock Lesnar will do what Roman Reigns wants, Brock.
I did hear that this was in speculation, you know, them merging the championships for a winner takes all sort of situation, which I don't think would go down well. Like, I don't think merging championships ever really goes down well, because it sort of means that the brand split comes to an end, and then, like, it's just, there's not as much going on because everyone's always fighting for 2 championships at the same time. It's like they did it back in, I think, 2014. Daniel Bryan won them both at WrestleMania 30. But for a long period of time, around that time, they were just merged, and like the rivalries that they had were always for both titles. So, like, I mean, champion versus champion, winner takes all is cool. We saw at WrestleMania 35 with Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. And that was good because, yes, the titles were merged, but they weren't merged for too long, and people would challenge Becky for an individual title, not for both at the same time. If they do that, then that's cool, I think. But say if Roman Reigns takes it all, and then his next rivalry, whoever wins that match, takes it all as well, then it's just wrong, I think. You know, maybe Roman could defend twice in one night at the pay-per-view after WrestleMania for both the championships. You know, that would be better. It's unpredictable, I think, right now.
And at WrestleMania,
I think.
Brock Lesnar
I don't think Roman versus Brock will happen.
Acknowledge the champion, Roman Reigns.
Seth might get involved.
Roman Reigns.
They just skip the entrance. It just cuts to Goldberg just being here. He's back. Alright, well, let's see what he has to say. Good old
I acknowledge you.
I acknowledge you. I'll stop. NXT. Right, speak.
As my next victim.
Big pop for that, you know. People there seemed hyped.
You.
Me.
Elimination Chamber.
Oh, wait.
For the Universal Championship.
No, wait, that's not good. That means we won't get a 6-man chamber match.
Next.
Classic, you're next. You're next. Reminds me of when that Dolph Ziggler feud took place. That's all he was saying to Dolphin Boy Ziggy Pops, and then he beat his ass at SummerSlam, which was a good match. And I remember Dolph kept begging him to come back for more as well, so that was a good return for Goldberg. But this right here, I don't know if I'm up for this, you know. I mean, Elimination Chamber, like, there should always be a 6-man chamber match for a world title, right? For both world titles. But replacing that with Roman Reigns versus Goldberg one-on-one is just boring. I mean, they could probably put on a good match. Yeah. Even if Goldberg has to sort of be carried a little bit with his matches these days. I mean, that was sort of proven when he had that match against Undertaker, because both of them are old and a bit out of it, so it didn't really work too well. But with someone in their prime like Roman Reigns going against Goldberg, he can definitely carry him a fair bit. So, you know, as for the match itself, it could be good, but it's just nothing to get too excited about, really, in my opinion. I don't think Goldberg is exciting anymore. because he returns too often. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you drop a like on the video for me. Subscribe if you're new for more wrestling reactions, all things WWE, AEW. I know it's been a while since the last AEW reaction, but they'll be back very soon as well. And if you want to see any other wrestling company, then throw it at me, because I'm here to explore and to expand my wrestling knowledge. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.